Well, the king is dead. Long live the new king. Red Wings has been dethroned. His reign was short. But that's okay. CaptainSPrice is the new king. He's already got to defend himself against challenger Jesulin, so he's up for. His reign will potentially be even shorter. Who knows? I guess we're about to find out. Let's see what CaptainSPrice can do against Jesulin's feared Soviet play. We've got CaptainSPrice playing as Oberkommando West, Jesulin playing as Soviets, and Jesulin is going to make his way out of the base. Conscript's going to take control of the strategic point here.
Engineer standing by.
And combat engineers taking control of some various territories here as well, getting the munitions under control. Reinforced barricades going up here from CaptainSPrice on the cutoff. Wants to try and shut down any early harassment attempts. And late harassment attempts, since these are so hard to destroy. And he's moved his truck out of the base ever so slightly. Probably wants to set up a battle group headquarters in this general area. For now he's just going to field Volksgrenadiers and make his way towards front lines. CaptainSPrice really likes wiring off his own cutoff. He did that last game as well. That's right, Red Wings, you had your shot and you blew it. But hey, you're guaranteed a seat in the next Star-Crossed Cup. No pressure, should you choose to sign up, which I'm sure you will.
It's done.
Volksgrenadiers taking control of more territories in this area. And we will have a bit of a light engagement happening in this area now. Sternpine, the battle group headquarters got constructed a little early. It's kind of risky, but at the same time, building it that early means your opponent's probably still capping the map and won't make a big aggressive push. Cutoff cannot be taken all that easily with the wire barricade in the way. Stern Pioneers protecting against aggressive maneuver. Combat engineers making their way to the front line. We'll take control of the strategic point right here, and sandbags going up as well. Jesulin will start with a pretty strong amount of map control, going with a 4 conscript opening, as he tends to. You might see field infirmary or Molotovs next. And Jesulin will simply work with his conscripts to try and keep his opponent contained for now. Stern Pioneers will move up to push away combat engineers right there, and Volksgrenadiers are going to move and take control of this strategic point. Conscripts harassing the munitions here in the south, while Volksgrenadiers need to regroup a little bit closer to the battle group headquarters. 2 units making their way into close range on those Stern Pioneers, applying heavy damage. They will get to safety in time to prevent any manpower bleed though, barely. And should be able to heal up on that battle group headquarters. And CaptainSPrice has already chosen his commander, Breakthrough Doctrine. So I'm thinking we might see some Panzer Fusiliers later this game. I'd be somewhat surprised to see any of the other doctrinal features used. And hopefully those will alleviate some of the pressure here on his cutoff, which still has not been taken, so he still holds a little bit of territory in the south. He's got the fuel coming in. He's got the victory point under his control, and he's in a pretty okay position. He's floating a lot of manpower though by waiting until he can field Panzer Fusiliers. That manpower is really taking up quite high. It doesn't look like he wants to field a Sturmoffizier either, and he's not purchasing himself the retreat point unlock. So he's just going to let that manpower tick up until he's got the CPs for Panzer Fusiliers, and from that point forward we might see tier 3, might see a Jagdpanzer. There's a few different options from a Panzer Fusilier opening. Forward. Oh, that was a late retreat on those Volksgrenadiers though, and there goes that full squad. Might consider replacing that. Certainly has the manpower to do so. Doesn't look like he wants to though. If he's going to operate on only 3 squads of infantry against 4 somewhat slightly better squads on this map, probably going to struggle a little bit. He's already lost 1 full squad of Volksgrenadiers. And he has no map control. But he is very close to getting up to 2 command points. One more engagement should do it for him.
Squad back to full strength.
Enemy is alerted to our presence. Prepare for counter-strike.
You see, anything can be destroyed. You just have to be smart. Contact! Small arms fire!
Volksgrenadiers trying to get this munitions point back. And another SWS half-track has made its way out of the base. Probably wants to set up tier 4. Finally, he gets the command points and needs to field Fusiliers, and he throws a squad onto the field immediately. And he's probably going to grab himself another one right after that, which will put him at 2 Volksgrenadiers and 2 Panzer Fusilier squads with which to try to contend with these 4 conscript squads. Jesulin is capitalizing on his huge early pressure with his pretty good conscript play by purchasing himself tier 3. He has not spent any fuel on these upgrades at all, which means that whatever he purchases out of there is going to hit the field as quickly as it possibly can. Panzer Fusiliers make their way to the front lines and force a conscript squad to retreat. Sturm Pioneers engaging conscripts here should win that engagement since the conscripts have no cover. I'll disengage, try and get into some green cover. Volksgrenadiers defending the munitions are also victorious against those conscripts, and CaptainSPrice will spend his first 90 munitions on G43s instead of on a Panzerschreck. And I think that decision is going to leave him extremely vulnerable to whatever comes out of this structure. Jesulin has also chosen shock rifle and has access to shock troops, but he has not fielded any, presumably wanting to save his manpower for his first vehicle. Oh wait, whoa. No he hasn't. He's chosen counterattack. I automatically said shock rifle. I didn't even think about it. And then I actually looked at the commander and I was like, wait, that's not shock rifle. G43 is engaging here. I mean, not engaging, taking control of the munitions up here. More Panzer Fusiliers helping on the victory point, and CaptainSPrice is playing around the victory points heavily, continuing to defend in this area with his Sturm Pioneers, and after taking control of the north, sending most of his forces here towards the middle to engage Jesulin's conscripts. And there's the first squad of shock troops making their way onto the field. This green cover position versus this building is an engagement you see almost every time this map gets played. Usually this green cover position wins. G43's move back into a slightly more defensive location. Still no Molotovs from Jesulin, who is clearly rushing out his T-70. T-70 is in production now. We've also got a flamethrower here. Nice burst. That just got 3 crits, I think. 2 or 3. That squad will get away with only 1 man remaining, and shock troops chase away this Panzer Fusilier squad. We do have a retreat point unlocked on the battle group headquarters here.
Regimental headquarters advise. Panzer Fusiliers are ready for action.
Volksgrenadiers will try to take control of the center victory point while Jesulin resecures all of the territory in the north. Now that this T-70 has arrived, I'm not sure what CaptainSPrice is going to do. He has no anti-tank at all, literally, except for AT grenades from his Panzer Fusiliers. That T-70 will have absolute free reign of the battlefield, but a Jagdpanzer will be available to CaptainSPrice in just 3 more fuel.
We come under contact. Make sure you have cover.
Enemy Panzer!
Enemy infantry!
T-70 not doing that much damage yet. Flamethrower will force the Fusiliers out of the building there. No Jagdpanzer from CaptainSPrice as he collects the manpower. He hasn't purchased a tier 4 structure, by the way, which, yep, makes me believe that's what his intention. All of his fuel going straight into that Jagdpanzer. So the Fusiliers into Jagdpanzer build so far is kind of struggling. I think losing that early Volksgrenadier squad is contributing to that. That was not a loss that he could really afford at the time, since he's really struggling to hold on to map control ever since then, and this T-70 is just bullying him so badly. He doesn't have any munitions at all for the Panzerschreck. Still has another 15 to bring in before that can happen, and he's barely been able to hold on to a single munitions point anyway. Jesulin has called in a recon overflight here, just I think to give himself vision for his T-70 to make sure a Raketenwerfer or other form of anti-tank is not moving up to fire on his T-70. But the Jagdpanzer is about to complete, and the T-70 didn't do anything crazy aggressive, circling around trying to get tons of kills, just kind of continuing to keep CaptainSPrice boxed in, apply a little bit of pressure, but no hyper-aggression at all. And now that the Jagdpanzer is done, it is making its way onto the field. T-70 has completely disengaged, by the way. And I'm wondering what Jesulin is thinking he wants to do with it. Shock troops get into an engagement they probably can't win. Nice grenade. Price will dodge it, sort of. Takes quite a few casualties regardless. Shock troops taking some pretty significant damage over there, and Fusiliers are going to try to take control of this munitions point. They do land an AT grenade on that T-70, but the Jagdpanzer's not really in position to follow up. Jesulin does not, however, have access to anti-tank grenades, so he will have no way of screening that Jagdpanzer if it tries to hunt down and destroy that T-70. The problem is the Jagdpanzer really struggles to do anything unsupported because of its limited vision cone, making it kind of scary to send it in deep by itself. CaptainSPrice doesn't even want to take the risk of AT grenades, despite the fact that Jesulin has not researched them, because he obviously does not know that. The Jagdpanzer, now supported by infantry, is trying to find an opportunity on that T-70, which he might get. Oh, look at that little self-repair maneuver! It had a damaged engine with a tiny little pixel of health to go. Jesulin utilizes self-repair for just I mean, he had to spend 60 munitions just to do that. But it will repair the T-70's engine on the move and get it to safety away from that Jagdpanzer.
Sector under attack.
Did I hear a demo charge? I thought I heard a demo charge go off. I guess not. Jesulin has purchased himself a field gun. Now that there's a Jagdpanzer on the field to chase off that T-70, it can't be nearly as aggressive, and Jesulin's containment over CaptainSPrice is faltering. T-70 has to be kind of careful here. Jagdpanzer moving up, caught it in a sort of awkward situation. Nice hit, one more and that thing will go down. Think he's gonna get it. There it is, T-70 is destroyed. Nice positioning by CaptainSPrice on the Jagdpanzer. He found an opportunity against that T-70 and capitalized on it. Now will deny Jesulin his most effective counter-harassment tool. And Jesulin loves using light vehicles as counter-harassment above all else. I fully expect him to replace that with either another T-70, maybe a T-34, maybe even a KV-1. I've seen him utilize KV-8s as counter-harassment. In all honesty, I've never seen Jesulin go counterattack before, so I'm not entirely certain what his build is going to be this game. I'm kind of curious about it. Now that he has a field gun to put a little pressure on that Jagdpanzer, it won't be able to maneuver too freely. CaptainSPrice is going to stop the victory point drain a little bit here. He's 130 victory points behind now, so he definitely needs to try and keep that under control. Jagdpanzer is about to receive engine damage. Field gun is sort of available to support, but I'm pretty sure... well, I was about to say it should get away, but it just received a destroyed engine from that AT grenade, which means CaptainSPrice has absolutely no choice but to move up and decrew/destroy that AT gun right now, or that Jagdpanzer is going to die. Jesulin just fielded himself a KV-1. All shots from the AT gun are penetrating the Jagdpanzer. I'm pretty sure it's gonna go down here. Even if he does decrew that AT gun, there's so much infantry available to recrew it. Just desperately trying to screen. One shot from death now.
We've lost a squad of
Main gun destroyed, gets a somewhat small miracle there. SWS moving up to try and block this. KV-1's maneuvering. AT grenade from the Panzer Fusiliers. Aw, but the Jagdpanzer is destroyed by an AT grenade, I guess. Either that or a long shot from the AT gun. Okay, AT gun finished it off. Screening troops did not arrive in time. That destroyed engine killed that Jagdpanzer. Just really bad luck for CaptainSPrice there. One AT grenade and a field gun. He tried his best to screen against it, sent everything he had into that engagement to try and screen. There was really just, I don't know, probably just nothing he could do. There's too much in the way, and Jesulin's KV-1 certainly didn't make things any easier in this area, plus the flamethrower, getting a few kills, various infantry, applying pressure, and CaptainSPrice is now going to have to try and survive with no vehicle of any kind. He does have 110 fuel, guess he could get himself another one.
We are now equipped with a flamethrower. Fresh meat has arrived. We are under attack. We are taking losses. Engineers have secured the sector.
Shock troops moving in on the battle group headquarters. CaptainSPrice is floating manpower a little bit. Hasn't fully reinforced any of these squads. I assume because he's saving his manpower for a fresh Jagdpanzer. He doesn't really feel like he can afford to wait on that. Jesulin is up to 11 command points now, so he can afford any of his doctrinal features as far as command points. He's got 486 manpower in the bank right now. I'm wondering if he might be thinking of grabbing a B4, or if maybe he just plans on using counterattack tactics for Mother Russia. Whatever he decides to do, counterattack tactics has a lot of powerful options.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Utilizing any of them could threaten to end the game pretty much immediately. And Jesulin has quite a bit of manpower in the bank as well. He could afford a B4 now if he wanted. His combat engineers just retreated.
We need to re-establish our supply lines. Construction is complete. Concentrate on the lead element! The lead element! Covering!
Pretty light engagement so far. Nothing really aggressive happening anywhere. Some reinforcement and healing happening at Jesulin's base. Field gun needs to be reinforced as well. KV-1 moving up to do a little bit of light harassment here, I think. Again, CaptainSPrice has no anti-tank until that second Jagdpanzer arrives. Jagdpanzer moves up, takes two shots at the KV-1, forcing it to retreat. There's the B4. Jesulin has purchased one. Totally missed. Didn't really do anything right there. CaptainSPrice is up to 5 squads of Panzer Fusiliers and no Volksgrenadiers at all, surprisingly enough. Almost all of them equipped with G43s as well. In theory, they should provide the anti-infantry while the Jagdpanzer provides the anti-tank. So far the build doesn't seem like it's working all that well, but hopefully he won't get nearly as unlucky with the second one as he did with the first,
Our enemy has
receiving a destroyed engine just from one AT grenade.
contact!
Sturm Pioneers will be forced to retreat from the center. Jagdpanzer does land one good shot. B4 is repositioning to fire. If it lands right there, that could be game over.
We are taking losses!
CaptainSPrice really needs to spread out, and he needs to not hold still with his tank either. Oh god, here it comes. Oh no. No. Well, I really don't think that CaptainSPrice can come back from this. It's just too much. It's too many losses. Way too many. Continues to have complete domination of the whole map. And that B4 just blasted everything.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
We have found the enemy! Man down!
G43 is trying to hold the line on this victory point, but the situation looks pretty bleak. Clock's gonna start ticking up against CaptainSPrice. Again, he only has 200 points remaining and he shows no sign of being able to turn things around.
We have secured the area. Stay moving! Fire on the chest!
Oh man, he cannot afford to be losing full squads just to conscripts at this stage of the game. His situation is bad enough already without that happening. KV-1 taking some very light damage from the Jagdpanzer. Jesulin's getting very aggressive now. Feels pretty comfortable about how the game is going. Barely any infantry even remains on the field. Field gun making its way to the front lines to try and blast away at this battle group headquarters, although there is still one squad of Sturm Pioneers that he has to clean up. Mechanized Regiment headquarters going up from CaptainSPrice here outside of his base. I assume just for repairs. I don't know what else he would be planning to make out of there. B4 shoots at it while it's in progress, but it is barely standing until the KV-1 moves up to finish it off. And that investment goes straight down the drain immediately.
Replacements have arrived.
Jagdpanzer trying to pull off some sort of miracle of maneuver here. There's another KV-1 on the field just to make sure that this absolutely is not possible, but it actually dies to a KV-1 shot to the frontal armor. Is destroyed. CaptainSPrice is now reduced to 4 squads, and I think the game ended, maybe? Yes, the game is over. Good game. Allies win. Short break, we're going to get straight into game 2.